everyone. Now we are going to talk about a discovery that has had the greatest impact on human history, and today we choose the telephone for our presentation. Firstly, I will start with Alexander Graham Bell, who was invented the telephone. Alexander Graham Bell was born on 3rd March 1847 in Edinburgh, Scotland. His family were leading authorities in elocution and speech collection. He was groomed and educated to follow a career in the same specialty. And by the age of just 29, in 1876, he had invented and patented the telephone. During the 1870s, Alexander Graham Bell and Eliza Gay both independently designed devices that could transmit sound along electrical cables, and both devices were registered at the patent office within hours of each other. But the problem was it used Morse code and was limited to sending and receiving one message at a time.
Bell had a good understanding about the nature of sound and music. This enabled him to perceive the possibility of transmission more than one message along the same wire at one time. Bell offered his own solution, the harmonic telegraph. In early June, Bell discovered that while working on his harmonic telegraph, he could hear a sound over the wire. It was the sound of a twinkling clock spring. Bell was finally realized the success and communication potential of his new device. The possibilities of being able to talk down an electrical wire far outweighed those of a modified telegraph system, which was essentially based on just dots and dashes. According to Bell's notebook entry for that day, he describes his most successful experiments using his new piece of equipment, the telephone. Bell spoke to his assistant Watson, who was in the next room, through the instrument and said, "Mr. Watson, come here. I want to speak to you."
The next topic I will mention about describing of how telephone changed human history. Telephone was invented for a long time. By the way, the communication would be never the same after development of telephone. The telephone made an incredible impact on society. The impact could be seen through the quickness of the communications, business, easier communication involves, and some negative effect too. The telephone made it possible for contact to take place with people who normally cannot because of being apart by large distance. People want to communicate quickly with the others. The telephone made this happen. By this time, the telephone was not a luxury good but necessary for survival. Right, let's move on the advantage of a telephone. Easy and quick to use. A telephone is really easy to use as well as it's really much quick. For disadvantage of a telephone, it is really popular among every class of people. Communication through the telephone is really easy and available because most people now use the telephone anytime and anywhere. You can connect to anyone if you have a number of your expected person.
3G and 4G are the most advanced technology, and they include the various facilities on the mobile phone. People can make a video call from their mobile phone, and it is the most famous and important advantage of mobile phones. Distance is not matter. If you have a telephone, you can communicate with the person even if he stays on another side of the world. Internet facility. Current times, the mobile telephone is very smart. It can be used for email checking, web browsing, transferring multimedia, though most people now always connected with social networking sites with their mobile phones. Audio, video, and image. They can take pictures, capture video as well as capture audio also, which is the most effective advantage of mobile telephones. Tracking system. Legal law and enforcement organizations can detect anyone by telephone or mobile network. It helps them to find our criminals easily. Games on the mobile phone. You can enjoy your lazy time by playing the game on the mobile phone. There are various kinds of games which are provided to the mobile phone set.
Next, I will mention the disadvantage of telephone. The first thing is it's a bit expensive for video call and SMS. On the other hand, voice call, video call, sending message through the internet is very cheap, and this is the great facility of the internet. And the next thing is about our health. If you use it in long term, you will have headache and permanent damage to your brain and your eyes. And one of the greatest disadvantages of the telephone is it's often used for teeth, for various purposes. It's scary, right? So don't use it in this way. And the next thing is about the network problem. Sometimes we cannot talk properly, and this is a very annoying limitation of a telephone.
Next, used for criminal activities. Because criminals use the telephone for its various advantages. Next, waste huge time of teens. The telephone really plays a vital role of various purposes, including business, but the telephone wastes huge time of teens because they chat for a long time with their friends and waste their valuable time for study. Next, used for sexual harassment. As I said before, the criminal use the telephone for huge advantage. Like some people often use the telephone for sexual harassment.
Often it's caused miscommunication. Sometimes the telephone causes miscommunication among people, like some misunderstanding because of the same word. Missed call. Though the number of missed calls go down and sometimes call goes to the wrong number, this is really disturbing sometimes. Habit of laying. Telephone and mobile increase the habit of laying in society because people on the other side cannot judge.
Absence of face-to-face conversation. The telephone cannot provide face-to-face conversation, and it is one of the most common disadvantages of telephone. Though, if someone uses 3G or 4G, they can make a video call. Voice is not clear sometimes. Sometimes the voice can come clearly because of network problems. Most people know about this disadvantage of the telephone. Above are not all advantage and disadvantage of the telephone, but there are a lot. We mention here some popular advantage and disadvantage of the telephone. That brings our presentation to the end. Thank you for your listening.